Unlike other weekends, 16 teams from businesses of British Business Group Vietnam and from Vietnam was taking part in the football tournament held in Hanoi. This was an annual event held for the first time in 2013. During the last 3 years, the event attracted the participation of more than 30 businesses and raised funds of 400 million Vietnam dong to support the charity projects all over the country.
So having a football tournament that brings companies together from Vietnam is a fantastic event. It's our third time of doing it. A wonderful event. It's about team building, it's about teams playing together, it's about competition, it's about friendliness, and it just gets companies and people to know each other better.
Thực sự là mình rất là hưng phấn cũng như là các thành viên đội mình kể từ cái thời điểm mà ban tổ chức tức là Hiệp hội Doanh nghiệp Anh Quốc công bố là thành lập các khâu tổ chức đến thời điểm này thì mình nghĩ là rất là tốt và rất là chuyên nghiệp, và thực sự thì bên mình cũng rất là khuyến khích các cán bộ công nhân viên tham gia các cái giải bóng đá phong trào của Hiệp hội người ngày.
In recent years, a lot of activities and business forums to connect Vietnamese and British businesses were frequently organized. 2015 was also an impressive year when the British Prime Minister David Cameron had the first official visit to Vietnam. On this occasion, two countries boosted the cooperation on the key subjects, including politics and diplomacy, trade and investment, social and economic development, education and training.
Hello and welcome to Sharing Vietnam on VTC10 Netviet Nhật. Recently, there's a lot of activities to promote the economic cooperation and the bilateral relation between Vietnamese and British businesses and enterprises. So in our program today, we'll have a talk to Mr. Christopher JEFFERY, Vice Chairman of the British Business Group Vietnam BBGV, to talk about the topic of connecting the Vietnamese and British businesses. Thank you, Mr. Christopher, for joining our program today. Well, first of all, what do you think about the cooperation activities between the Vietnamese and British businesses in recent years?
The development of the cooperation has really been 20 years when BBGV first started. And 2015 was a fantastic year because we had the visit of David Cameron, the Prime Minister of Britain, to Vietnam. And that really showed the commitment that Britain has and British business has to participating and working with Vietnam and Vietnamese companies to develop the market here and to develop the knowledge economy here as well.
Wow, among those above activities, what are the most impressive ones to you?
Originally it was about investment in terms of the financial services, oil and gas and manufacturing. It's now developed. It's now about knowledge, and it's now about small and medium-sized enterprises and about sustainability. And really those are areas in which Britain is a world leader in terms of developing the technology, the methodology. Predominantly education is a very good example of where Britain has invested and invested heavily, and it's now possible for students to get an international education right here in Vietnam, and that contributes to the knowledge economy, and that contributes to the potential of the Vietnamese workforce to add value and to help Vietnam develop its economy.
Talking to the cooperation fields between Vietnamese and British businesses, what are the most potential fields in your opinion? For example, technology or trade investment?
I think looking to the future, there are a number of areas where Britain can and is being involved. One is through PPP, public-private partnership, where finance companies and organisations provide the investment for major projects. And I think as Vietnam grows, there's a more and more demand for investment. We also look at financial services and technology, and I think there again, the labour force here in Vietnam is massively good at computing, massively good at mathematics and subjects like that. And therefore there's a huge potential for international organisations and firms, not just British firms, but to come in and invest and develop here in Vietnam. And I think one of the key things is it's not just about Britain. It's about Britain working in partnership with other investors from other nations to give the best solution for the people of Vietnam.
In recent years, the UK has always been a leading economic partner of Vietnam, with bilateral trade of nearly 4.5 billion US dollars in 2014. Foreign direct investment of UK in Vietnam reached 3.18 billion US dollars. In the aviation sector, the two countries officially opened some important direct flights. The most recent is the direct flight from Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City to Heathrow Airport in London. Opening a new flight to Heathrow would bring Vietnamese customers benefits from the facilities of international level and connect with other airports around the world.
Chúng ta cũng có thể thấy là FDI của Anh Quốc trong năm 2015 vừa rồi vào Việt Nam thì tăng trưởng rất là mạnh. Bên cạnh đó thì Vietnam Airlines cũng có những cái nền tảng về mặt sản phẩm là hãng hàng không khai thác bay thẳng duy nhất giữa sân bay Heathrow và Việt Nam, cũng như là đưa toàn bộ đội tàu bay mới và dịch vụ 4 sao vào khai thác. Thì Vietnam Airlines còn cùng với cả Hiệp hội Doanh nghiệp Anh tham gia rất nhiều những cái hoạt động mang tính chất xã hội. Ví dụ như là sự kiện Fun Run năm 2015, hay là Vietnam Airlines cũng hỗ trợ cho các cái sự kiện giải đua xe đạp từ thiện.
In the field of education and training, many organizations and educational institutions of the UK are carrying out joint training programs with the local universities. In particular, British University Vietnam is one of the first educational institutions to provide training services at international level and British degree to Vietnamese students.
The assessments tend to go is that the students will visit businesses, will take students out, maybe 30 students out to see a local business. They'll see the way that that business works. I think the opportunities for growth here for educational institutions are very big. The whole Vietnam economy is much more international.
In the technology field, UK Asia Tech Hub project was set by the Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng and Prime Minister David Cameron in the joint statement on economic cooperation in July 2015. The portal was launched to help connect technology enterprise from the UK and Vietnam, especially the small and medium-sized enterprises. Vietnam was chosen as the first country to open this portal, then it will be expanded to other ASEAN countries.
So I think it's a fantastic future for both countries and a great opportunity for both countries to build bigger relationships both in political terms and also in business.
Since establishing diplomatic relations in 1973, bilateral relations between Vietnam and the UK so far have achieved many significant achievements, especially after the two countries established strategic partnerships in 2010. Britain currently ranked third among EU investors in Vietnam. The promotion of cooperation will open up new opportunities for businesses from Vietnam and the UK in the near future.
Coming back to our talk today, but recently, Vietnam was chosen to be the first country in Asian region to open officially the information gate called the UK Asian Tech Hub to connect the medium and small-sized enterprises in Vietnam and UK. So what are the opportunities for the Vietnamese enterprises and businesses in this field?
Whether you're talking about Britain or you're talking about Vietnam, is small, medium-sized enterprises. They are the large multinationals of tomorrow.
Yes.
So therefore, helping them develop, helping them expand into new markets, to give them a helping hand, to give them the advice, to give them the confidence to develop is a key element. We as a country, and Britain is also developing the SME sector and seeing that as the way forward, gives Vietnam the opportunity to develop faster and to develop with a more sustained approach. It's not just about today, it's about preparing for tomorrow and the future, and making sure that you don't just have the big groups now, but you have new big groups developing, conglomerates developing over the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years.
So apart from the success and potential, what are the existing difficulties that the businesses of the two countries are facing?
Any new market, it's a scary enterprise, because you start your business in your home market, you understand your home market, but if you're talking about internationalism and expansion, then really you're talking about learning a different language, learning a different culture, learning a different methodology of doing business. And I think those are the scary things that companies have to face. And by being a small and medium-sized enterprise, resources limited. So therefore support in preparing you to take that jump is very important for business. And also you've got to look at Vietnam in a global context. There are a number of countries that British companies could set up in. And why would they set up in Vietnam? Vietnam as a country has to differentiate itself and become attractive to investment, especially from the SMEs.
So acting as a bridge to connect the Vietnamese and British enterprises and businesses in Vietnam, how have the British business group Vietnam BBGV supported the businesses of the two countries?
So over the 20 years, we've really developed close relationships with VCCI, with government, and also with other businesses as well. We play an important role on the Vietnam Business Forum, which gives British business an important say talking to government. And one of the things the British government has done over the last 2 years is to transfer a number of its investment and information services to BBGV. So for example, in the last year, we've launched the business centre in Hanoi and in Ho Chi Minh, which gives an opportunity for British businesses to get access, to get information and to get support from people who are already here. But also over time will give Vietnamese companies the opportunity to learn more about the British market and how to export and how to really take advantage of all the strategic partnership with Britain.
Last but not least, can you share more about the future plan of BBGV in promoting the connection between the Vietnamese and British businesses in the next period?
Is to develop the SME market, to ensure that we provide the best information we can and the best support. So looking at financial technology, and that's a group of British organisations and companies that are here to build links with Vietnamese companies, but also to learn. And I think the key thing is that we will provide an opportunity for people to learn, to understand, and hopefully a confidence to take advantage of what's on offer.
Thank you so much, Mr. Christopher, for joining our program today. And that is also the end of our program Sharing Vietnam. We do hope that there will be a lot of cooperation activities in the future to be held to promote the connection between the Vietnamese and British businesses in the next period. Therefore, the bilateral trade and relations between the two countries will be boosted. For comments and feedbacks, please send it to sharingvietnam@netviet.net. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.